We got a lot of work to do. October is here, and that means it's time to do some super spooky Halloween-themed builds. And as usual, instead of going, we'll build one thing this month, we've gone overboard. The Forgotten Prisoner. Haven't found too much information about this. I read through the Aurora book and didn't see anything that was particularly interesting. I don't really know what the theme from this thing is, but I think it'll be fun to build. Not lots of good detail in that, so dry brushing and whatnot should be really fun as far as that goes. The prisoner himself, I wish I knew a little bit more about the story. Unfortunately, I don't, so it's going to be an interesting way to paint. That's one. Lots of cleanup, so that'll be a little bit time-consuming. Keeping with our skeleton theme, we've got Skeleton from the Dr. Deadly's monster scenes. Now, I know this is also a repop. Some of the older Dr. Deadly kits I would love to get my hands on. I love sort of that weird, dark, slightly kinky subject matter. Probably the reason why the first run of this was doomed in the first place. But this is what I could get. This is an example of one of those kits where they give you a few options to build, but they don't really need to. When it comes to the face, dead, alive, and vengeance is mine. If you're not going to build this kit with the vengeance is mine face, then you probably shouldn't build the kit. There's no point. It's molded in glow-in-the-dark plastic. A shame, since in order for it to look not... cool little poster. In order for it to not look like a cheap Halloween decoration, we're going to have to paint it. But we'll see if we can preserve some of those ghastly glow-in-the-dark special effects. It comes with a little comic book, too, which that'll be kind of fun. I stayed at a friend's house in Las Vegas a couple years ago. This is the only store I have relevant to skeletons. He has a real human skeleton in his living room, and it was a pain for him to get. That's it. Great story, Ryer. Okay, so there's a gallows there. Might use that, might build my own, not sure yet. The back of our skelly boy. Another great base with rock texture. My sources, just some guy who works at a hobby shop, tells me this is a brand new tooling, Creature from the Black Lagoon, a movie that I have admittedly not seen, but this will be a good excuse for me to watch it. I find that most of the old Aurora monster kits and whatnot tend to be a little bit too small for my taste, so it'll be nice that to do something a little bit larger. I would like to get my hands on, if I have time and funds by the end of the holiday season, to get a hold of the old Horizon Frankenstein vinyl figure. He's nice and big, bigger than this guy even, but a little bit hard to come by, although eBay does have some Chinese knockoffs. Lots of good texture, all that good scaly skin's going to look real nice. I've debated whether or not I want to paint this guy like a lizard, or if I want to paint him black and white like he would appear in the movie. I think we're going to do just lizard for this one because I can't help but put color into stuff. The legs and torso are all molded in styrene, but there are resin castings for the arms and hands. Okay, so I've got here Taliari's Cadillac Town Car. Now I know what you're thinking. Ryer, that looks like the perfect thing to use to build some sort of Halloween hearse. And you'd be correct, but I'm not going to do that because I don't have a good reason why I'm not going to do that. I'm just not going to do it. Instead, I'm going to build this as a jack-o'-lantern car because when given the option to go kitsch, you should always go with the fairly box stock build for that one. I also just read an article by our good doctor, Dr. Cranky, about phantom gassers. Now feels like a great opportunity to do some sort of Frankenstein smashed together rat rod gasser. And for that, I'm going to be using, of course, the 41 Willys as our base. I like the axle and the axle setups for both the rear diff and the front axle. I like the big honking engine up the front, and I like the fact that that's pretty much modular. You can build it separately. You don't have to put the Willys body on it. I'm not super attracted to the Willys body, at least not for this project. So I have got the remnants of one of these 29 Model A kits, which apparently are gone. For now, we're going to be using the body off of this thing and the running gear off of this thing to build us a super spooky Frankenstein rat rod gasser. Stay tuned, folks, because maybe we'll pull this off.